Oh my goodness. What's happening, everybody?
I think this might be like officially, what is this, like 6 or 7 weeks in a row that we've done this now?
Are you saying that we just might be consistent?
We might be we might be mimicking people that are consistent right now.
How dare you? How dare you? What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Where is everybody? I don't see anybody in the chat. What's happening?
I know the
Is
chat
there-
doesn't. That's very odd. We've got 15 or so watching, but okay. There's Jane in the chat at least.
It was really weird because we started with 10 watching and all of a sudden it went to
28.
oh, now it's 28. Okay.
There we
the
go.
numbers are just all over the place. Okay. Weird.
Just a little bit delayed, maybe.
Yep.
All right.
So what's happening, everybody? Now, not that we want to get on to microphone talk, but I did switch a microphone. I changed some settings up. So just at least let us know that you can hear us. There's nothing we can do about it from this point on as far as today's show goes. But it'll be good to know that you guys can hear us okay. And hopefully we're all good. But I think it's on a little bit of a delay here. So what? What's going on, Jody? Picking peaches.
It is a little bit of a delay. Where we've been doing our best to try to get the vocals to sound right. They're totally fine with Zoom. They're totally fine with Google Meet. They're totally fine when we're doing anything live.
Well, it's something to do with StreamYard going to YouTube, and so we've changed a couple of the settings and stuff, and hopefully that's going to handle everything, and it'll be better from now on. Yep, not garbled. All right, cool. So let's get into the show. It's Sunday. This is our the new version of our Sunday live show. As we've said before, we no longer do a haul. We do all of our hauls during the week. They're all pre-recorded so you guys can see our bins hauls, and I think we've been able to kind of get a little bit deeper into like the pieces that we're picking up and more details. And then here is where we go over how the last week was for us. I also talk about like whether or not we met our goals that we set last week, and then set some new goals for the coming week. So,
And we've had a lot of new viewers subscribe recently, and I think it's because of some of our haul videos and things, which is great. But you may want to introduce us.
Oh.
We haven't done that in a minute.
what? Yeah, so hello everybody. This is our channel, Katy and Vikki. I am Katy. This is Vikki, aka Victoria, when she wants to be taken very seriously,
That's true.
which is most of the time. And also, aka my wife.
No longer my fiance.
Yeah, it was my fiance for like 500 billion years, but now it is my wife. So, really, really happy to see all you guys. I see Allison.
We see Allison in the chat.
Yeah,
I
Allison,
see-
you have been away too long.
I see Mary in the chat. So people that are not normally watching us live. So nice to see you guys.
Hello, Sue, usually a lurker. We love lurkers. I'm down with that.
Lurkers are fine. Oh, and I see your sister, Binky.
Where? My sister Binky. Oh, yeah, aka. She just writes aka. Binky, it's the Binkster. Anyway, guys, so yeah, this is our new show, our new setup for the show. We only do an hour. It is broken up into 3 parts as it used to be, but the parts are a little bit different. The first part, we go over our numbers for the last week, the good, bad, and the ugly. Middle part, we do go over our sales highlights for the last week, some of the cool stuff that we sold, and you'll see some surprises in mine, that's for sure. And then the last part is where we talk about kind of, what goals we set last week and if we were able to accomplish them or not. And then we talk about what we want to do for the next week. And we invite you guys to join in on that part in the chat, in the comments down below, because we want you guys to be taking advantage of this opportunity to kind of speak out into the universe and to our little community about what you're trying to do, hopefully get some support and also be held accountable. And that doesn't mean that you have to always meet those goals, because obviously, not all goals, they're challenges for yourself. You're not always going to hit them 100% every time, but it's all about the effort, and it's about trying to kind of be a little bit more structured in what you're trying to accomplish.
Create some habits and some consistency, and try to hold yourself accountable. Personally, I like to set a goal as a challenge goal because it's something that I find more difficult to reach, where Katy likes to set a goal that's more of an achievable goal. And everybody's a little bit different. So for me, I like to have it be a challenge and not be super easy to achieve. And then I want to see how close I can get to it or if I get it. And then Katy just really likes to set a goal that she finds
it's not
doable.
It's not that I'm trying to set a goal that's easy. I'm like, if I am working the way I'm supposed to be working and being productive, what is a reasonable goal for me? Because let me tell you, the goals that I'm setting right now, I was not achieving those in previous weeks over the last probably couple of years, honestly, with any consistency. And that, I think, has really hurt my sales, combined with issues in the economy. And so for me, it's more about what is sustainable and what can if I'm doing this week after week after week after week, is it manageable? Because it's like we were talking about our friend Alexis who came to visit us. She's doing really well. She's super niche down to just shoes. But one of the reasons why she does so well is because she has a goal of listing 12 things every day. And 12 really isn't that much. If you've been a reseller for quite a while, 12 listings, you can hammer those out pretty quickly.
Achievable. And she doesn't miss any days. That's her thing. She'll even bank listings so that she can get them launched live on a weekend or when she's on vacation. So it's 12 that she does every single day for I think it's over a year. She said she hasn't missed a single day.
Well, that's not entirely true because she was just in Hawaii and she did say she only had enough listings ready to go to do 8 or 9 a day, and it really bugged her. So she's glad. But that's the thing, when you create a habit, there's all of those different theories about how long it takes to create a habit. But when you do get to the point where something really is a habit, it bugs you when for some reason you can't do that thing. It actually bothers you.
Yeah.
And you have to be in that place. And it's not so much that the algorithms demand that you have daily activity. It's more about creating that habit so that you will be more likely to be consistent,
Yeah. No, I agree. If we want to get into the show, I've got some comments about that later when we start talking about our goals for the week. But I just want to address a couple things in the chat. Again, for those of you that are coming to the Boss Reseller Remix, definitely keep an eye out for those specials for the Golden Nugget. I did post one that I got this week. It may not be the best one. They happened all the time. So you definitely want to try to keep an eye out as I get them in the mail and I get them in my emails, and Katy does as well. I will definitely post them in the group. You want to just compare and contrast. It's totally great to go and reserve your room now. You don't pay until you go there. So if you can reserve your room, and then if you find the specials come in better over the next couple of months, you can call them and they will adjust the pricing to the special. That they have them all the time. It's there's no consistency with prices for hotels around here. So I just suggest to do that. Obviously, you guys know the Boss Reseller Remix tickets are on sale right now, and they're selling briskly. So I know that some people have been holding out. You definitely want to grab them as soon as you can. And if you're not able to attend in person, the virtual tickets are, it's a full virtual streaming experience this year. The tickets are $65 with the $10 off coupon code that is listed below the show. But the $65 gives you live streaming so that you can chat. It's going to be in a StreamYard format just like this. You'll be able to chat. You'll be able to ask questions of the panelists and the speakers and the presenters. I'm sure not every question will get answered. There's time, but you can interact. And also that puts you in the special Facebook group that will have all of the speakers in it as well, so that you can ask questions after the fact. You can ask them to follow up on something if there was something in your presentation that you had a question on. But you'll also be able to view all of the information and all of the sessions infinitely, I suppose, because they're going to be posted in that group as well. So if you miss something, or if you work a day job and you're not able to watch it live, you'll be able to watch the playback after.
We'll be live streaming directly to the group is what's going to happen in the Facebook group. And I will actually be live streaming some of the fun extracurriculars as well. So not all of them, but just parts of, the meet and greet and the our Fremont street crawl and all that stuff. So it should be really fun.
The costumes and things like
party.
That. So Sense of Humor asked, what's a Golden Nugget? Golden Nugget is the hotel down on Fremont Street that majority of the people stay at when they attend the Boss Reseller Remix event. It just happens to be a decent hotel that's 2 miles away from the event, and we do a lot of extracurricular things down on Fremont Street, and it's just a a good location for people. You can stay anywhere you'd like, but that happens to be where most people stay.
Also, we wanted to announce to you guys, we talked with our other partner, Theresa, about it, and we have decided, we have an early bird thing going on right now with our tickets. We have decided that we are going to go ahead and leave the price at that level beyond July. Originally, we had said we're going to do this early bird special just for the month of July, and then the price is going to go up. We just decided, looking at like how things are and how hard it is for people to kind of make the decision to do this and to come and see us in Vegas, we decided we'd rather keep it more affordable for everybody. And so it is not going to go up.
We are not increasing the price from last year.
Any of you that were like scrambling to try and get your ticket this last week, I mean, we love you to get your tickets now and get it locked in. But if it's going to take you a little while longer, don't worry. The price is going to stay at $345.
We're gonna take and keep last year's pricing. We do realize that everything has increased in cost over this last year. Obviously, our costs for the event, but also airfare and hotels. Everything's a little bit pricier this year, and we also recognize that we're all struggling a little bit with sales. So I know that it's a little bit more of a stretch for some people this year than it may have been last year or the previous year. So we want to acknowledge that and help you attend as possible, as affordably as possible. As you guys know, it's never been a money-making event for us. It's been that we want it to help our fellow resellers. So we're going to do best that we can to do that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into the show. What do you think?
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about numbers, guys. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and do this. All right, it's a bit of a mixed bag here, okay? I've been really consistent these last few weeks of listing every day. I'm not seeing a whole lot of change as far as my eBay goes. eBay continues to consistently disappoint me. It's just not there.
It's consistent in that. It's consistent
right?
in that it's been disappointing this entire year so far.
Yeah, but I can't just wait around for things to turn around there and just keep doing the same old thing. So of course I'm continuing to list there and listing more consistently. But I've got my 15 eBay orders, my 5 Etsy orders, and as you'll see, some of those changes I've been making, you guys, I've got my first Poshmark order. I'm officially a Posher, guys.
I don't even know who you are.
I sold something on Poshmark. I think I have it like about 340 listings. As soon as this show's over, I'm going to get back to today. I'm working on adding more listings to my Poshmark closet because I have a Poshmark closet.
Everybody has a Poshmark closet.
You shut your mouth, but now I have one. That's my whole point. I get that everybody else has one. Jeez. So Poshmark, yay. You see I have 3. I have it under Grailed, Bakari, and Depop. All 3 of those sales are Depop, you guys. So I added Depop this last month. I just added Poshmark this last week. Depop, I have like 1,600, 1,700 listings. Poshmark, just a few hundred. But right there, that's 4 sales I would not have been able to get last month. So you do what you got to do. 24 total outgoing orders. $959.34 on eBay, $349.16 on Etsy, $80 on Posh, my one little sale, and then as I said, it's only Depop I sold on, and it's $249.98. So total gross sales $1,638.48. I'm not super excited about that, but like I said, $300 of that is something I wouldn't have even been able to get a month ago. $129.50 for my shipping. You can see the breakdown of the rest of my fees there. $110 for my cost of goods. My total net sales, $1,205.08. My gross average sale price, pretty good this last week. I used to be wanting to hit 70. Now, because of the way I've kind of switched things up, if I can get 50 to 60, that's great, but 68.27, pretty good. Net average sale price, $50.21.
I want to quickly answer Patricia's question in the chat. Do you know how to bulk delete in Poshmark? You cannot bulk delete in Poshmark within their program. If you use a cross-posting service like List Perfectly and you have your listings in your List Perfectly catalog, you can bulk delete that way by sorting by Poshmark and end the listings on that platform alone. That's the only way that I know definitively that you can make that happen. If anyone has any better ideas, then please let me know. I do know that it's been tough. Yes, Allison, the Nugget does have some specials. I'll send you a private message after. I know you're not on the Facebook. I will send you a private message and give you the info that I had on it. There may be better ones out there, but I did find get an email with a pretty good rates, it looked like.
I'm trying to decide if Mary is attacking me right now. Is being a Posher anything like being a poser?
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm okay. If they're going to give me money, I'm down with it. You know, especially realizing that with promoted listings and everything, my eBay fees are well over 20%. I might as well be doing Posh and making more money, right?
Mm-hmm. I've been talking about this for a long time. I've been saying all year I was supposed to add Grailed, and we are now at the end of July, and I have not added Grailed yet. So I'll be adding Grailed, and I think I'm going to add back Depop, because honestly, I just have to use everything at my disposal right now, and I think that's the message for all of us. So anyway, let's move on
to your sales.
To my pathetic sales. A little slightly better than Katie's, but still pathetic. So 26 eBay orders, 4 on Etsy, 6 on Posh. My Posh was very quiet this week. 4 on Mercari for a total of 40 outgoing orders. Quick answer, sense of humor. Does the Golden Nugget take dogs? Yes, they do take dogs.
And I swear, even the casinos that say they don't take dogs, we just see dogs constantly in them. It's weird.
Yeah, they do have dogs for the Golden Nugget, because we've had friends stay there with their dogs. Okay, so eBay, yay, I did over $1,000 this week. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
$11.85. I mean, you know, nothing like my $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 weeks, but $11.85 on eBay, $4.46 on Etsy. Etsy woke up this week for a minute. $189 on Posh. That's pretty low. Mercari, I'll take $200 a week on Mercari.
I mean, that's great for Mercari.
Just over 2,000 total gross sales. My shipping cost $196 for the week, and then you see my breakdown of the rest of the fees for the platforms. My cost of goods, I do have one $55 item in there, so honestly my cost of goods would have been much lower if I didn't have a $55 item in there. My cost of goods is always relatively low, and it's still low. But if you had subtracted that $55 out of there, my cost of goods would have been like $80.
$50 cost of goods. You're out of control.
So my total net sales, just over $1,400. My gross average sale price, I do like to keep between $50 and $60, so it's just over $50 right there. It's okay.
It's all right. Anyway, so that's our sad little numbers. So I don't know. I'm still hopeful. I'm gonna be hopeful. I've been really grinding it out. I'm sure Vicky's had enough of me sitting with my laptop every night, but I'm just trying to get my listings all up on the other platforms ASAP, because it makes it right now it's kind of hard to be cross-posting to new platforms and doing new listings, because the way that I'm doing my the order I'm going in to cross-post to the new platforms kind of screws up with the order I do my new listing. Anyway, it's too much to explain, but I'm trying to get it done as fast as possible so I can have all of that up there and I can get back to just doing things the way I want to do them. But now I'm on like freaking 6 platforms.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, guys.
So yeah, they do allow pets at the Golden Nugget. Whether there is an additional fee or not, I don't know. I do think there may have been. But like Alana says, just don't... I mean, I wouldn't check in with the dog. But dogs are allowed.
Yeah, they are allowed.
For sure.
All right, let's get into our sales highlights for the week. I have some fun ones. Do you? Yes,
do you?
Yes,
well,
I
this is
do.
mine, not yours.
I know. Come on. This one's fun.
Okay, so this was just, I only put this because this was, I mean, it sold for $46 and change, almost $47 plus shipping. This cost me maybe a quarter. It's a little tiny vintage, late 70s, early 80s quilted vest. And while vests are not the fastest sellers of anything for me, this was just too cute to leave behind. This was a bins find, and it was inexpensive, like I said, because it's so tiny and so light. It maybe cost me 25 cents or 50 cents, and it wasn't listed all that long, maybe a couple of months. So I was pretty happy with that return. I wish it had come with the skirt that it probably originally was sold with. That would have been great. But I mean, 50 cents into $47 is not too shabby.
Not too shabby. All right, first up for me is this Gatorade t-shirt I just got a couple of weeks ago. Not that it's like a huge sale, but if you remember, I had found like a bunch of clearly vintage t-shirts that were all inside out, and this was one of them in that pile of shirts that I had found. And super worn and faded, and then somebody made an offer. I think they offered like 35 or something like that. But one thing I noticed, one thing I appreciate that eBay does now is when you get an offer, it will tell you whether or not it's a promoted listing, and it'll actually tell you what the percentage is if you happen to be doing like very percentages that change. So when they had offered me the 35, at first I was like, well, I can take the 35, but I only paid like $1 for it. And then I saw it was going to be a 12% promoted listing fee. And I'm like, I'm going to do a counter offer. So I countered 44 and they accepted. They didn't even like try to counter again. So
And you only gave them $4 off?
Yeah, well, that was my counter. That's $5 off $48.99 for a counter. They could have countered back, but anyway, they accepted it. So I was glad about that because I'm like, I just don't want to pay that much in fees. And so, or lose that much to fees. So $44, again, like this was only listed for a few weeks and I paid, I don't even think it was an 8-ounce t-shirt. So not even $1 for this. So I was pretty happy with that. And this thing was like super faded.
Oh, someone asked, what is your electric bill during the heat wave? Oh,
don't even get us started.
So I don't know if this is the case everywhere in the country, but our electric rates have increased by about 40% over the last year here in Las Vegas. So I'm going to tell you right now, we're on track for our electric bill to be $780 for this month. When this time last year, which was almost as hot as it is right now, it wasn't quite as hot, but last year's bill for the month of July was under $400. It was like $375. So yeah,
it's crazy.
It's a little bit ridiculous right now. It's almost double.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's like they just basically tell you like, hey, we're going to increase your rates, and everybody is dealing with this here in Vegas. It's nuts.
I don't know if it's really, really ridiculous. We're very hot right now, but it's also always hot in Vegas. So in the summer, so that's expected. Yeah. But right now it is ridiculous. I mean, our electric bill for the month is more than what my net sales were probably this week.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
It's pretty bad.
What you got here?
So this I just wanted to show, and yes, I realize this is a men's shirt on a women's mannequin. This is my new lister. We're getting there. She has male mannequins now. I just didn't want to not list stuff while we were waiting for everything to get in. In any case, this sold very quickly within a couple of days for $60. And I did highlight this on my Instagram only to say that some vintage polo shirts are still selling. This sold for full price. I mean, it's not in fantastic condition. Very clear about it. It's a little bit faded even. But the big pony ones, either they're back or they're selling again. I don't really know. It went for a long time that it didn't. They weren't selling well at all, so I wasn't picking them up. But this was a bins find, so I paid, $1 for it.
I just realized, I'm sitting here thinking, my brain's like moving a mile a second. I just realized, because remember I was asking you about polo shirts. We went to the bins this morning, and I was asking you about how much you sold this shirt for. Mm-hmm. I just realized when I did my haul earlier, we did the pre-recorded one, that I didn't have that shirt. What happened to it?
Did someone yank it out of your
Somebody
cart?
might have yanked it out of my cart.
They yoinked it?
I'm so irritated right now, you guys.
Was it the same one?
No, it was one that said USA on it. It was a white one. It said USA really big across the chest. I'm so irritated right now. Somebody must have yoinked it. Rude.
Sunny popping in. Nice to be seen just waking up at 2:20 in the afternoon, you lazy butt.
What have you been doing, man?
It is raining in some areas. It's not raining here, but it looks like it's going to. It's overcast.
Well, I can see the blue sky now, but when we very first started, it was a little more overcast. Maybe in a different part of town. Anyway.
Cart yoinkers? Exactly.
So rude. Yeah, I can't. I'll have to go back and look. Maybe I'll go back and look in the car. Maybe it fell out or something. But I'm so irritated about that. I was excited about it. Son of a. All right. Anyway, next one. This one's for me. Okay, so this one's kind of cool. I just got this like a week or so ago. It's not vintage. I just got it because I thought it was a really cool graphic. It says there is no Planet B. And it sold really fast. You can see it's got the Gildan Tearaway tag. It sold really fast, and they not only did they buy it for $48.99, they also paid for express shipping. So they paid an extra $23 so that I could send it express because they wanted it for something they were going to.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm assuming it's somebody. It's like there's no Planet B, like take care of your planet, that kind of thing.
Were they going to a recycling convention or something?
I don't know, but just I thought it was a cool shirt. I didn't think it was going to be such a cool shirt that somebody was going to pay like $70 basically to get it. But I was super happy about it. I'll take it.
Oh, Pam, I wish you were bringing your dog. I want to see that cute little husky.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Next up for you.
Okay, so I just wanted to show this because I do talk about these all the time. I don't like to pick up men's blazers in general, but I will always pick up the Western blazers. They sell pretty quickly. In fact, this wasn't listed very long. Usually they're Pioneer wear or Circle S or Circle K. You know, it's whatever.
You almost
I
said
was going to
Circle
say
K.
Circle K. That's a gas
I mean,
station.
if you want to get a delicious Slurpee, sure.
But in any case, you can usually pick them up really quick. Cheaply, so they're they only weigh like 2 pounds, so under $5, and it's sold fairly quickly for $62 plus shipping.
Oh my goodness, Lady Luck Junk wants a super chat. Okay, so here's the deal, Lady Luck Junk. I forgot to put this in my haul video that I did earlier, but we went to the bins this morning, Danica, and I was so excited because I was digging through the clothes. And all of a sudden I found something really special that made me think of you very fondly. I was very excited. I yelled to Vikki across the bins to show her what I had found.
She did.
And so now I've got this little, I gotta sing a super chat song for you. And it's gonna be a duet with my new partner in crime. It's a baby. Look what I found.
So some people hide things like rubber duckies on cruises. Danica brings these little babies, and we hid a bunch of the babies and handed them out on the cruise. So
yeah,
it's so dumb.
She's excited. I love it. I love it. I was so excited though, and I'm like, "Where's Danica?" Anyway, thanks for the super chat, Danica. We appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, they were just about to bring out a new thing, and so I didn't have anywhere to. I couldn't get to the cart, and I had nowhere to put this, and I needed to dig, so it went in my pocket, and then I didn't pay for it. So
You stole
I stole
a
the baby.
baby.
I stole the baby. I stole the baby. I didn't mean to.
I mean, it probably
would. It
it'd
probably
be
wouldn't
2
have.
cents. It
I
wouldn't
don't
have
even think
registered
it would
weight.
have registered weight on that giant scale, so I'm probably okay. Does that makes it free, right?
Katie's a klepto.
Sorry about it. Okay. Next up for me, here is a shirt not vintage, Levi's Western denim shirt with the pearl snaps, the sawtooth pockets.
Ooh, nice keywords.
Thank you, appreciate it. It's even got like a little wear right there, and I sold it for the price you see there, $69.99. Got this at the bins. Paid roughly $1 for it. And,
Impressive.
Not a bad little sale.
No.
So I actually got 2 of these. The other one it's a little bit different, but very similar. So
Show us the screen.
Oh no, I just want to look at it by myself. Whatever, guys. Jeez, so abusive. Anyway.
Can we see it?
Yeah, so they're...
Everybody in the chat. Sorry, guys.
Whatever. Anyway, you can see that it's got a couple of little partial kind of holes or whatever. This is the tag. And yeah, pretty much anything Western.
Oh, Britt's in the chat, so he's not watching the replay, so he can heckle us from the chat
he
now.
wanted to heckle us for like live.
It's usually after the fact. Did you say Wrangler?
Levi's.
Okay, because Alana thought you said Wrangler.
No, sorry. I mean, maybe I said it earlier, but anyway, pick up these Western shirts. They're always good. And this is what I was talking about when I said the sawtooth, the little double point pocket.
Yep. And then the yoke is the back. If you show the back again, where it's got that dip in the back.
Oops. Come on.
Those lines in the back is.
I'm trying to get it to click on. Okay. There we go.
Western yoke,
Yep.
and then you've got your pearl snaps.
Snap. See, look at them pearly whites. Hey-o. All right, next up for you.
So this dress I did show on a haul, so I haven't had it very long. I think it was listed just a week or two. It's vintage 90s, and it's just the perfect example of like a grunge slip dress from the 90s. It's from Express, which is just a mediocre mall brand. But the style I knew would sell the dress very quickly. And it's just like a little rayon dress. Super tiny, extra small.
Cute.
But very, very cute and very fashionable right now. Very Courtney Love. So yeah, it sold for the price you see there. So I bought it at the bins. It weighs under a pound, very lightweight. So paid about $1, and it was listed for less than 2 weeks, and it sold for $67 and change.
Nice. All right, guys. Remember this? I sold a blanket. So when Vicky was gone to Nashville, and I did my 5-day bins challenge, this is one of the things that I found was this blanket from it was a Pro Beach volleyball world tour blanket, and I was very excited. So I have a whole 2 blankets in my blanket inventory, and now I only have one because I sold this one. I actually sent an offer out for $100, so that's what it sold for, is $100.
Very impressive.
It's not a super heavy blanket, so I probably only paid like maybe $4 or $5. But I was super excited that I sold this already.
Look at that. Somebody who hates blankets and pants kicking ass with blankets and pants.
Well, I don't know if you can call selling one blanket kicking ass with blankets.
Well, when you only have 2 in your inventory and you sell one of them, that's a 50% sell-through rate.
What? Whoa! Guys, I need to replenish my inventory. Jeez. But yeah, I told Vicky, like, for the most part, she can have blankets, but I'm not, I mean, if I found a Pendleton.
She would fight me for that one, I think.
I would fight, if I found another one of these Pendletons, I would fight her for.
A Pendleton, I will knock your teeth out if you take that out of my hand.
I'm not going to take it out of your hand, but if I find it. And Vicky has like this thing that she likes to do, which I call being an asshole, where I'm digging in a bin and she comes up right next to me to start digging next to me. And I'm like, not acceptable. Okay? Go find your own bin, man.
But it's okay when the bros do it?
Well, but that's different because that's like another person. But it's like, yeah,
Oh,
if you come
I
right
know.
next to me and you find something, like, yeah, I'd be mad. I'd be like, come on, get out of my bin, man. I did have one guy who was like trying to shove me out of the way when when one of the sides opened up, and I wanted to punch him. It wasn't a t-shirt row, some dude with a stupid basket. I wanted to punch him.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
I thought it was me that's about to get violent in all of
Well,
this.
if you're like physically, like he was physically like trying to keep me from being able to pass him, and I'm like, seriously? It's like there's 20 bins out there. Like, get out of my way. Quit being an asshole. All right.
All right.
What you got here?
I just wanted to say, don't sleep on the winter stuff in the summer, and don't sleep on the summer stuff in the winter, because stuff sells year-round. I got this at the bins in Colorado. So I've had it since at least January. I don't know how long it took for me to list it, because I was listing that stuff for several months. So I probably paid $5 or so, because this is very heavy. This is almost a 4-pound sweater. It's super thick. Like, this is, you don't wear a jacket when you need this, when you wear the sweater. But it sold for the price you see there. It's 115 degrees here this week, and it didn't sell here. It went to New England. But it sold for $86 plus shipping. And I was pretty happy with that. It's a very heavyweight sweater. I did pay over $10 to ship it, because there was no way this was fitting into a padded flat rate mailer, because it is so big. But it's a great sweater. I mean, it really felt as nice as a Dale of Norway sweater. It's that thick and heavy, which is what I thought it was when I grabbed it. But it's just LL Bean.
It's just LL Bean. All right, speaking of Wrangler, I sold this Wrangler Hero denim trucker vest that has, I think it was like, the sleeves were just cut off basically of a trucker jacket and made into a vest. I got this at the bins. And
Not that long ago.
No, maybe like a little over a month ago or so. So I paid maybe a couple bucks for it and sold it for $62.99 on good old Etsy. But, I mean, Wrangler Hero, it's not like one of the ones that sells for a ton.
Not at all.
So selling a cut-off vest for $63 is pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I don't even know that I would have picked that up.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
Now I know. So these I've had for a little bit. These were also a pickup in January in Colorado. Frankly, finding Freebird in the bins was crazy to me. I was with Kristen, Rural Squirrel, and Liz O'Kane. And I found these, so I probably paid $5 for them, because they're heavy and they're nice leather. Freebird I would always pick up. I wish they were a little bit bigger. They probably would have sold faster. Size 6 women's is fairly small. But they did sell. They sold for the price you see there, $108. And it was, a few months, but great boots. If those were bigger, I never would have given them up. I would have kept them.
Jody says vests are all of the what's happening right now on the old TikTok.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah, so she says many people have them on their thrift manifestation boards.
I don't even know what a thrift manifestation board is, but shit, I'm behind the times apparently.
Well, I'm assuming it's like a vision board only for thrifting, trying to manifest those finds. It's like when we're about
That'd
to go
be on
in,
Pinterest,
and
right?
I say, okay, what are we gonna find? Let's manifest it.
All right, good to know.
There you go. Okay, next up for me, I sold this shirt on the good old Etsy. I've had this for a while. I've definitely sent out plenty of offers on eBay, probably as low as $50 on eBay. And I sold it for my full sale price on Etsy of $89.99. I like this kind of stuff, like these kind of advertising tees from the 80s and stuff. So this is for
Eyewear.
I don't know how you pronounce that. Luxottica eyewear. It's just a really cool graphic, kind of an interesting shirt. She's like painting her glasses. It's cool, man. But yeah, sold it for $90. I think this one I paid maybe like $5-10 tops. Yesterday's fits like a year ago or something like that. But I'll take a $90 sale on good old Etsy.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So this is also another Colorado bins find. Actually, not bins, I'm sorry. This is an ARC thrift store find. I bought a bunch of little baggies that had all of these things in them. This is vintage 90s hair clips. And the other thing that looks like a little circles, that's like dusting powder for your hair. So it has like glitter in it. So it's from the 90s. I was no way selling these things individually, but I paid probably $25 for all of these. And I sold them as a lot. I have two different ones up, but this is the one that's all by the same brand, this Umberto Giannini, which is a hair care company. I don't even think they sell like barrettes and things like that anymore, but they sold for $125. Now, if someone wanted to piece that out and sell them, they can probably sell them for $10 a piece. So honestly, it's a good buy for someone else if they wanted to say, which is probably what they're going to do. I can't imagine someone's using all of these themselves, but who knows? I just thought it was pretty cool that they were all, retro and vintage. So I mean, this is not something that I would find again, probably, but at least in this quantity. But I thought it was nice to look at. As we know, some of the old hair things sell well, like the Scunchie brand and stuff like that. So
it is raining outside.
It is raining now.
Weird.
Thanks for that prediction, Sonny.
Get some thunderstorms or something. Okay. Next up, guys, my very first Posh sale. Check it out. It's this Metallica t-shirt. I've had this shirt for a good year. I paid like $10-15 for it because it's pretty stained. The bottom's cut off. So it really was going to take somebody who wants to wear it like this. I don't know why this little thing isn't going down. I guess I can't look at the different pictures. Anyway, so I think I put it up on Posh for like $150 or I don't remember how much I put it up for, but somebody offered $80 and I'm like, $80, heck yeah. Like, I make money on it. I can finally get rid of it and to get my first Posh sale so I can officially be a Posher / poser, Mary, $80. So that's my first sale.
That's it. You're officially a Posher.
It's funny because on Etsy, one of my first like big sales on Etsy was a Metallica shirt forever ago. And it might have even been the same shirt, guys. I think it might have been the same shirt. Not cut off. It was a different one, but it was also stained and all beat up. So, yeah.
Interesting. So I did post these on my Instagram as well, and I think I mistakenly put that they sold for full price, and they did not. They sold on sale. So they sold for $300. I bought these from Mike, Storage Auction Pirate, on his very first Whatnot sale. I do try to support my friends when they do Whatnot, and I've tried to purchase at least 1 or 2 items from people as they've been doing their first sale or two. I can't always do that if it's not something I'm going to resell, but I do try to. So I think I paid $55 total for these. I'd have to look, but I'm pretty sure it was $55, maybe $60. And these sold for $300 plus shipping to international shipping. So I did make another $10 on the shipping. I've sent offers as low as $175 on eBay, but they sold on Etsy, and I was pretty happy that they sold. I don't have a ton of high dollar sales lately, as I'm sure you guys all know, and those two. But this is a nice. Keep an eye out. Obviously, we know Ray-Ban in general and vintage Ray-Ban in general is always worth picking up. However, these specific ones, Bausch and Lomb, before it became Ray-Ban, they're both, and they're good. Those are good aviator glasses. All of them are good. So
Very cool. All right, let's get into my Depop sales. I sold 3 things on Depop, and I always felt like I was waiting to go on Depop for them to have more than 4 pictures. They only had 4 pictures for the longest time, and it didn't seem like that was going to be enough for me, and I didn't want to it would have taken me way longer to actually pick which pictures went up. So when they went to 8 pictures, I still was somewhat hesitant because I kind of felt like Depop was going to be like another Mercari where all I was going to get was like low offers.
that is it for me.
And stuff
But
like that.
Maybe it's getting better.
I've sold like 10 things on Depop now, and they've all been pretty decent sales. And so
in the last month, right? So,
yeah, in the month that I've been on there. So this is a women's Final Four t-shirt, and it's sold for the price I put it up for, $69.99. And I was super happy about that. Just, it's a cool shirt. I've had it for a while, so I was really happy about it. And yeah, I have not had any crazy bad offers so far on Depop. So I hope it's just going to continue to be a good seller for me.
Okay, so my last couple of sales are Mercari sales this week. I have talked about these before. I've talked about BB and Juicy Couture, and I understand that Juicy is now a brand that is sold at Kohl's, but that is not always the case. That was not always the case. Juicy Couture vintage 90s and Y2K stuff, especially if it says Juicy across the ass, and the full sweatsuits, the velour or then velvet sweatsuits are selling very, very well. Unfortunately, this is just one pair of the pants, and it doesn't have anything or any bling across the butt, so this would be a lower priced one. But they sold fairly quickly. I think these were listed over there for maybe a couple of weeks, so they sold for $65. I do free shipping on Mercari because I don't ever run sales, and my prices are the highest on Mercari of anywhere else, actually. So
that's a nice Mercari sale, for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, next up, remember this?
Nope.
I got this at the bins. You don't
yes,
remember?
I do remember.
I was going to say, how do you not remember this? So I got this at the bins. It was pretty heavy, so I probably paid a good $5, $6, $7 for it.
So it's a men's coat that somebody
it is a men's
put really gaudy 90s iron-on decals on and tried to make it
I don't know if they're
feminine?
decals or if they painted. I don't know. Yeah, so it's because the first time when I saw it, I thought it was a women's jacket, but then when I did my research, no, this is definitely a man's, or made for men, and somebody
unisex,
whatever,
anyway.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how it's determined when they make them, and it's got all these little flowers and stuff added onto them.
I mean, I think you would have sold it for more if it didn't have the god-awful flowers on it, but...
Well, right. So you're definitely going to have a very narrow audience. First of all, there probably aren't a ton of women who are wearing these kinds of jackets and then adding flowers onto it.
I just can't picture... I mean, even though it's a men's jacket, I don't picture a lot of men wanting to wear... The jacket's fantastic. I don't picture a lot of men wanting to wear it with painted roses on it and hearts,
No. So somebody made an offer for $80, and I was like, heck yeah, I'll sell that for $80. Because like I said, I paid maybe $5 to $7 for it.
Before you click over, I just want to answer that. Lori in the chat, have there been any yard sales or estate sales out there? We do have yard sales and estate sales. Estate sales are not super plentiful here. A lot of them went online with COVID, and they weren't a lot to begin with. However, this is the very, very hot time of the year, so even if people are having them, not a lot of people are going to them, and they are packed up by 10 or 11 o'clock. It's too hot. We're very fortunate that pretty much garage sale or yard sale season is year-round here in Vegas, but right now, I wouldn't be going. It's too much in and out of the car and super hot. It's 100+ degrees. Yeah, I love garage sailing, but lately I've been able to find anything and everything I need so easily in one location that it's not time efficient for me to be going garage sailing.
I mean,
that makes sense.
Well, and especially now with how the bins, they have new management. They've been super consistent about doing faster rotations. It's like, why try and travel all around the town looking for a garage sale when you can just go
when you hit like at least 50% of them you're not going to find crap at. So it seems like not a very efficient use of time, especially when we're both working as hard as we are, especially right now. Don't get me wrong. If people come to town, like Ryan and Allie come to town in a few weeks, if they want to go out garage sailing one day, we'll do it. It's a lot of fun driving around with friends and going to do that kind of stuff. But as a way of sourcing, not great for us right now.
Yeah. Okay. Next up.
This was another, and this is my last sale for the week that I'm showing, but this was another Macari sale. Pretty decent sale. I had it listed for $90 and somebody offered $68. That's a good offer for me. I've had this for quite a bit. It's vintage Laura Ashley. It's probably 90s, late 90s. But yeah, I mean, $68 is pretty good. I was happy with that.
Yeah. All right. My last Depop. Now this one I've had for a while. This is one I paid maybe $10 for. I grabbed it because, I always get the Jesus stuff, but the Lord's Gym stuff doesn't necessarily sell like crazy or anything like that. But this does have a pretty good big graphic on the front and the back. And but what was interesting about this is it's a vintage 90s sweatshirt, but then it was signed in 2009 by the band Sonic Flood. So it's just a very niche thing. You're going to need like a fan of the band that's going to want to pay money for some random Lord's Gym sweatshirt that's signed by the band. And so I had it priced pretty high, but I mean, I've sent out so many offers on on eBay and stuff like that. I sold it for full price on freaking Depop, man. $99.99 on Depop.
Weird to me. Weird.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's a cool sweatshirt, but so I wanted to address a couple things in the chat, please. I did see that Lori's message was deleted by Allison. I'm going to assume that was by mistake, because Allison probably deleted or something as a mod. But just wanted to let you know you didn't say anything wrong, Lori. And Aggie Hall, welcome. Found us through Rally Roots. I did see that Ryan and Allie had tagged me when Allie bought that dress last week.
Yeah.
That she was messaging me about that she wanted to fit, but her rib cage was too big. I'm sorry, her size 0 rib cage was too big for this dress. Anyway, thanks for coming to watch our channel. We love Ryan and Allie. They're our buds.
All right, so that's the first couple parts of our show, and then the last part, this is where we talk about goals, how we did last week, and what we want to do this next week. And we encourage you guys to take part in this. If you want to talk in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, in the comments down below, let us know what you were able to accomplish in this last week, maybe some of your pitfalls if you had any issues, and then what you're hoping that you can do in the next week. Now, I know last week there were a few things. So I kept my goal at 50 listings. If you remember last week, that was my same goal the previous week, but I had exceeded the 50 listings. I think I had 74. I stuck to 50 this week because every other week I am going and I'm volunteering at a law office. So I lose a whole day every other week, and so that was happening this week. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to really exceed that 50 listings. But I was able to. I had 2 more I had to do this morning, so I got 50 listings done. I did hit my goal. The other goal is we are continuing to try to get at least 2 sourcing videos up, bins haul videos up, and I got those 2 up this week, so we hit that. Our joint goal is that we go to the bins at least 3 times. This week we did 4, including today. We did 4 times, and we actually filmed a video today. I'm going to have that up tomorrow. And today, I felt like today, at least for me, was one of the best days. I agree, for me too. I really liked the stuff we found. So, except for apparently my polo Ralph Lauren shirt that got yoinked out of my cart, apparently. I'm so mad about it. I hope one of those guys shows up wearing it and I can punch him. I'm not going to punch anybody. But I think we found some really cool stuff. And of course, as always, you get to see a really cute video of the dogs, because we know that some of you, all you care about is seeing the dogs.
That's true.
What were your goals last week and what happened?
So I did nail it. As Tommy said, I figured Allison did that by mistake. I figured it was a butt dial or something. So she said the phone was in my pocket. I know Allison, she was not redacting someone for any other reason. We don't have enough people in our chat that ends up being an issue, because we don't have, every once in a while we get a weird spam bot in there, but it's very rare.
Anyway, what were your goals last week?
So my goal was to list 150 new listings for the week, and it was to source at least 3 times and do the video twice. So anyway, I made it to 123 listed. I did not hit 150 this week. 123 new listings. However, the other thing that I did accomplish this week, which I wasn't sure I was going to, is I photographed every single thing that I have in my house for my inventory. Every single thing, all of my hard goods. I took over 1,000 photos this week of hard goods, shoes, and linens. I do not have any back stock. The only things that have not been photographed already are the things I actually picked up today.
Yeah. There's a huge, you guys can't see it, but there is a huge pile. I was going to video it for, in our video, I forgot to do it. But there is a huge pile of just everything that she photographed. So that's pretty big.
Yeah, I got 1,000 photographs done. 123 new listed items, both hard goods and my stuff that is pre drafted by my new employee. So I do have all of that, and then. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, and we did have one whole day that we kind of lost to doing some stuff because we did have the housekeepers here one day and they were here for like 7 hours. And I had to listen to the dogs barking through the bathroom because they were so mad that there were people here.
Well, that's part of why you got all those pictures done.
Partly, yeah.
Because you were trapped up here.
And yeah, it's been a minute. It's a lot of work. I'm going to say, like Katie was talking about earlier about burnout. I'm going to say that I don't think 150 listings a week plus 3 days at the bins every week is sustainable for me in the long term. However, I think I can do at least 100 listings a week very easily with 3 days at the bins. I think that it's not sustainable for me to do this much. I am working 6 to 7 days a week right now. And clearly the sales are not, showing that yet. However, I do expect that they will at some point. It is summertime. This is historically my slow time anyway, although it is much slower than average this summer. So I do know that I am spending more money than I'm making at this point. I mean, I'm paying about $200 a week on inventory for 3 trips, about $200. And then, I am paying my employee about $300 a week. I have 2 employees. One just does cross posting for me. So that's about $300 a week. So that's $500 a week off the top when I'm only doing $2,000 gross a week. So I'm going to say that obviously that does not make sense financially for anyone at this point. But I do know that I need to spend money to make money, and that's always been the case. And that's, so right now I'm just working hard through the slow times and getting some good quality listings up, and that's it.
Yeah.
Doing my best.
It's like what we were talking about earlier about, challenges versus setting lower goals. And to me, like doing a challenge is something like what I did when Vikki was in Nashville. It was like, that's not sustainable, but within a set time period being like, okay, this week, let's just do something crazy and list X numbers or whatever without the expectation that you have to like keep doing it week after week after week. To me, like I want a challenge like that where I say this is what like we want to do an all day bins sourcing day or whatever. Which Jody, we need to talk about that when I see you on Thursday. We'll figure out like when we want to do that because I know you said you would do it with me. Vikki probably will maybe be able to handle the first part of it, but
we'll see.
We'll see. But we need to plan that out. But anyway, so something like that. Am I going to do an all day bins thing every single day? Of course not. I'm going to do it for that one day, and that's like my challenge. But setting a goal that's like, okay, week after week after week after week.
So for those of you that are new to our chat, a couple of things. I wanted to address the question by Aggie. Why don't you use List Perfectly to cross list? We do. Both of us use List Perfectly. We were some of the first List Perfectly users. I've been using them for over 4 years at this point. Highly recommend. Link down below. It still takes work. I do pay someone to do the cross posting for me through List Perfectly because that is a better use of my time and resources, so that I can better do things like the shipping and the answering the questions and pricing things and the sourcing, because nobody can source like you, right? Sourcing is not something I would ever outsource, but other things are outsourceable and should be outsourceable. But in any case, we've just got a lot of like a lot of stuff to do. And I'm working at this point, this past week, past 3 weeks or so, I've worked well over 50 to 60 hours each week, which is not the norm. And sales are pretty bad. And that's, something we've been talking about for a while. So I do know that Aggie is new to our channel. Katy and I are both down about 40 to 50% in sales this year from previous years. At least I am. I don't know where Katy is, but I'm definitely down 50%. And I was a high 6-figure seller until this year.
I mean, it is what it is. I'd rather be busting my butt 60 hours a week, not forever, but than going and getting like some regular job to bring in more consistent money. But speaking of sense of humor, so I got a side law firm job. No, I'm volunteering. It's I go twice a month and volunteer on pro bono cases. So I'm not getting paid for it. It's just something I'm doing because it matters to me, and I need to. Vikki and I both are very much committed to volunteerism and supporting things that we're passionate about. And so for me, that's what I'm working on. So that only adds, it takes away from my time to be able to get some of this stuff done. But, you have to find a balance to be able to do the things that you want to do. But sometimes, like right now with the sales the way they are, it's like, yeah, we're having to work harder than we normally do.
For a lot less money.
We had worked like crazy. When we first got together, we both were working like crazy hours to try and build up our stores and build up our income. And it really paid off. And but then the last couple of years, for a lot of different reasons, and planning and putting on the remix definitely takes a lot away from the time. I know for me that I could be focusing on my business. And it's really, we've gotten away from a lot of those habits that we need to have. And so right now we're paying for that, and we need to
we've been traveling a lot the last couple of years, and we moved last year, and we got married last year, and we have a lot of visitors all the time because we live in Las Vegas, and that's the nature of living in a destination location. You have a lot of visitors, and we want to be able to spend quality time with our friends and family when they do visit. So, so it's trying to find that work-life balance, right? I mean, I think we all struggle with that. And whether you're full-time or part-time, work-life balance when you're an entrepreneur is probably the most difficult thing to get a handle on.
Yep.
The best thing that I can say is that we have instituted a few things, and one of them being that we are done work at 6:00 every day. And we try to take Saturdays off. Sometimes we'll source, but that's the equivalent of everything that we're going to do on a Saturday. Yep. And that's it. I mean, everything else we just work.
I see Alana's goal is 3 listings a day. They're working 70, 75 hours a week at a regular job. So yeah, I mean, and I think like something like that, it makes sense. Like, 3 listings a day, that's manageable, even if you're worn out. And if you really do want to have like a side hustle like this, or maybe eventually you want to move to be your full-time thing, you got to start somewhere. So
yeah, Gary has a question there in the chat and says, I know our business is on track for a huge loss this year. It does feel like 2008 again, because Gary's heard me say that. You have to just keep pushing forward. Yeah, any of you that have been selling for a long time, I know that Jane in the chat has been, and things like that. This business is somewhat cyclical, and right now this very much feels like 2008 and 2009 when we were in a major recession in this country. We are not in a recession. Actually, inflation is really what I think is hurting us, because there is some false inflation in many different categories across the country: travel, gas, groceries, utilities, that are not really supported by the reality of the world.
I can't wait to hear that.
I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind it, other than the fact that prices and costs have gone up, but for no apparent reason.
I mean, every year the oil companies report record profits, and why that means we're still paying 3 times what we should be for gas, I don't know. But it has a huge impact.
Yeah, it has a huge impact on people's disposable incomes, and I think that's how it's trickling down to us. So, it also means that we'll come out of it again, and it does, the other thing is that, and this is not going to be a political discussion because we're not going to have it, but I am going to say that politics does drive the economy, and it does have a major impact on the economy, good, bad, or indifferent. So it's going to make a difference as we head into an election year again next year too.
Yeah.
So all of that is going to affect sales and business, and that's why we all have to continue to be pivoting and changing our sales
adjust.
approaches in order. You cannot stay stagnant in this business because the business is mercurial. So you need to be able to adapt and change, and that means selling on many platforms, selling different ways, getting into live selling, whatever that may be for you. Do what you have to do to keep that hustle going if you want to continue to be a full-time seller and not have a 9-to-5 job.
I mean, I just added 2 platforms, and like I said, now that I'm pretty much solely sourcing at the bins for now, I've cut my cost of goods way down. So while my sales are down this year, my costs have come down as far as just my inventory goes.
I've always been a cheap ass.
So
my
yeah, but I mean, you do have to pay other people to do some of this stuff for you. But so it's like you got to figure out. You can't just keep doing the same thing and hope that something's going to change.
Yeah, you've got to try to do what you got to do to change some things. And I did see
I'm
Sagan asked.
Sorry, I was going to answer this question.
Yeah, that's
oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know his name. I didn't remember his name. I think you had some more conversations with him, but we're in Vegas. Vicky's from Rhode Island. I'm from Oregon, but we are living in Vegas now. So
which is where he was living for a while. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're still in Vegas or not, but we are in Vegas now.
So as far as our goals for this coming week, I got the whole week ahead of me, so I'm still gonna say 50 because again, I want that consistency. But even though I say 50, I want to try and see if I can do better than that. Gonna still do at least. So I think for the most part, my goals are all going to be the same. Still do 2 videos. Still do at least 2 videos. Still do 3 days at the bins. Now, week after next, we're going to be going to California for a few days, so it's going to throw everything off.
Yep.
And that is what it is. So we kind of have to take that into account a little bit. But for this next week, I should be able to kind of stick to my same goals without really making any difference. Because I want to be plugging along.
I'm going to say instead of trying for 150 this week, I'm going to try for 100. Which I think is a little bit more achievable for me. I do not have as many things to take photos of, for one, so that's a whole day plus that I lost. Anyway, there's no. I think I can do 100, and most of that is going to be listing from my death pile that I took all those, my profit pile, before Molly yells at me. Profit mountain.
Every time you list a bunch of hard goods, your sales do go up.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing for me to get going because they do take longer as far as the listings go because I have someone that does my drafts for the clothing. So, it's balance, right? So I'm going to be listing a lot more in the hard goods categories this week. So I'm going to say I'm going to go for 100 plus our 2 days, 2 videos and 3 days at the bins. And I guess I will attempt the all-day bins challenge with you and Jody.
I don't know if we're going to do that this week.
Oh.
We're just going to talk about when we're going to do it.
All right.
So I was thinking of trying to get Jody to do it the same day because Jody and I are going to go see the Barbie movie on Thursday night. And I was like, oh, we could do the all day bit. And I'm like, you know what? That doesn't make any sense because we're going to be starting at 8 in the morning and then we're not going to do it. That's too much. So we'll do it probably the week after next. So we'll have to figure out what day would be good. But Gary says he's going to attempt to cross post 100 listings to Poshmark and try it. So that's awesome.
Good. You should do it. Gary, do you already cross post? Do you use List Perfectly or some type of cross posting software?
What I was going to say is the other thing I want to say is this week I want to get everything that I want to get cross posted to Poshmark done this week. So I'm at 340 listings, which means I've got another 1,400 to cross post. That's a lot, but that is something that's pretty easy to kind of mindlessly do. So I'm going to see if I can do all of that. Reseller Threads said...
That's Pam, by the way.
Pam,
I know
sorry.
You never remember people's names by their...
I can't see I just see your picture now. I said 75 last week and got 50-ish, but I'm sticking with 75. Also look at old listings and clean them up.
Good answer.
Very good.
I see Simon in the chat. I don't know is that Simon or Patrick or both. in the chat from that's Simon's avatar anyway.
Hello.
Hello,
You
Simon.
know that Simon's coming to the remix now.
I do know that he came last year.
Well, I know, but he didn't know for sure if he was going to be able to come. Patrick had gotten his ticket, and then he was holding off. He just got his ticket, so he's for sure coming.
Good. I'm so glad. I love you guys, both of you. I think you're just so fun and so sweet. And yeah. So.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm gonna go see Barbie because guess what? I am a complex individual, and I want to see Barbie. And I love Ryan Gosling, and not everything is all about horror. Sometimes I like silly and goofy.
I
and
have
for whatever
no
reason,
desire to go see Barbie.
Yeah, so
None.
I've
never even owned a Barbie doll. I could not give a shit less about Barbie.
Oh, I don't care about Barbie in and of itself. Like, I had no interest in dolls. I did get a wedding Barbie when I was a kid, and I shaved her hair into a mohawk and put Ken's clothes on her. So I don't care about, like, it's not because I'm like, oh my God, I love Barbie, I have to go see the movie. I'm just like, because of who the director is and because Ryan Gosling's in it and, like, the cast, I'm like, there's got to be something to it. I want to check it out. And I do the monthly movie pass thing. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to take my friend Jody. We're going to go and drop Vicky off at a slot machine.
Gary, stop it. Now you're going to make me sing that stupid song.
And I'm looking forward to it. I also do really want to see Oppenheimer too, though. So that Vicky's going to come
I'm going to go see.
Oppenheimer with me.
Sonny wants to go see Barbie too. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Anyway, I just want to go to hang out and because I want to see Jody's outfit for Barbie. Yeah. That's really my main reason for going to see the Barbie movie with them. I'm not going to the movie, but I'm going with them. Jody said she picked out her outfit the minute she heard about the movie.
Well, she said she started planning it when she heard about it. Yeah. So, and I'm probably gonna be wearing all black, but I am gonna wear a pink tie, Jody. So I'm not gonna be completely left out of the dressing up for Barbie. I will wear a pink tie. So.
Okay, so there was a question in the chat. If you scroll back up a little bit, someone asking about cross-posting and things like that. So keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This one?
Yep. So
Weta.
I'm on eBay only for now. Thinking of cross-listing. Can you talk about costs for other platforms compared to eBay monthly fees? So here's what I'll talk about is there are no... Etsy charges. Etsy's the only one that charges you any upfront fees. Etsy is 20 cents per listing, and that renews every 4 months. So it's basically 5 cents a month for your listing on Etsy. The final value fees are lower than they are on eBay. Poshmark, there is no fees to list anything. There is a 20% flat fee when something sells. If you are selling collectibles and ephemera, Posh is probably not your best audience, but I will say if you're selling collectibles and ephemera, you should absolutely be on Etsy, especially if your items are mostly vintage. Anything over 20 years old is eligible to go on Etsy. If you're going to try any platform, try that one first. It's going to be cheaper than your costs are on eBay. Not by a ton, but a little bit cheaper than eBay, and definitely worth that. We do have a link down below if you are not using cross-posting software. The only one I've ever used and continue to use, it's been 4 years now, is List Perfectly. They're great people and a privately owned company by friends of ours. They're owned by friends of ours, and we love the software, and it's probably the best one on the market. There are others. There are free software companies. There are companies that do many different types of cross-posting, and I will say that List Perfectly was the first. So, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, as they say. There is a link down below to give you 30% off your first month if you are not already using List Perfectly. We do not promote a lot of programs in any way, shape, or form.
Only the ones we use.
We only promote the things that we use, and one of them is List Perfectly.
Okay, so we're over time a little bit here, so we are going to get one last question in. Gary wants to know, Vicky, do you have a favorite slot machine in Vegas? Gary's favorite is Buffalo Chief. I know what her favorite is. You want me to say? Mm-hmm. Her favorite is Carnival. Right now, it changes. But
it changes depending on what it is. But right now, my favorite is the Carnival slot machines, which Buffalo is one of them. There's like 3 or 4 different ones.
They do this thing. This is like a weird thing that happens with slot machines where they'll take games that already exist and then build another game on top of it. And so like one of them, they do that with like that train one that you play. And so this one, it's like the buffalo game. It's, what's the wolf one? That wolf game.
I don't remember.
With the
it's the wolf game, one of the wolf games.
Anyway, so they do it with like 3 or 4 different games, and then over the top of it, they put this carnival game, and so it's got like, you know, it's like a carnival theme. It's really fun. So that's her favorite right now. Personally, I love the old timey buffalo. I call it old timey buffalo. It's the old school,
the original buffalo,
old original buffalo. Anyway, all right, let's wrap it up. We're over time. We tried to keep this to an hour. We didn't quite do it this time. So thank you guys so much. Be on the lookout. Tomorrow you will see our haul from today. We did really well. I picked up some really interesting things. We both did, actually. Yes, would you like to say something, my dear?
I just wanted to say, for those of you that are new to the channel, and I knew that there were a few in the chat and a few watching, please follow the links below to check out some of our other videos, but also go check out the Boss Reseller Remix. If you haven't heard about it yet, you must be sleeping under a rock. But it is the reseller conference that we, with our friend Theresa and our partner, run here in Las Vegas. It is coming up in October. If you click on the link below, it'll bring you to the website, and you can see all of our speakers as well as our panelists and things that we'll be talking about and discussing. This is our 3rd year. We have between 300 and 400 people show up here in Las Vegas, which is a great party town, but also a great way to learn how to take your business to the next level, how to learn how to invest in your business and in yourself in a way that makes sense for you for right now in this time. And we all know that we need to learn to do things a little bit differently right now. So I think that it's important for you to invest in your business and invest in yourself. And hopefully we'll see you in October.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, we will see you soon. Bye.